This is Priya Anand, and we are Spiraling. Thanks for joining us. On this show, we talk to people about curly hair to learn more about our culture, from our personal identity to how the world sees us. I was talking to a friend a couple of weeks back. She has teenage kids. She said when her daughter's friends come over, she can't tell them apart. All the boys look the same. They all have that alpaca broccoli cut. Some permed, you know what I'm talking about. It's everywhere these days. Perms had their heyday among American women and men in the 70s and 80s, and then they kind of disappeared. Stick straight hair took over. Jennifer Aniston's haircut, the Rachel and Friends. And remember when dudes had frosted tips? Actually, let's not remember. But now, perms are back in full force. Teenage boys are getting perms, young and youngish men are getting perms, and we investigated, and it turns out even old men are getting perms. So, what is it that's drawing men to want curly hair? Aside from what we know on this show, which is that curly hair is hot, there's also the idea of new hair, new me. How does getting a perm influence how men feel about themselves and how they show up in the world? But first, how does a perm even work, and where did it come from? Karl Nessler, a German hairdresser who lived in London, is considered the inventor of the first permanent wave machine in 1906. This contraption looked crazy, like a chandelier hanging above someone's head with wires dangling and brass rods at the ends. You'd wrap your hair around the rods. It reportedly took 6 to 10 hours to complete the process. And honestly, to me, the images look like a version of a cartoon electric chair where you fry someone's head to torture or punish them. Nessler's perm contraption, though, it was considered a monumental invention. When he passed in 1951, Life magazine posted the headline, "A Revolutionist Dies." By the way, Nessler invented his perm machine the same year the first wireless radio broadcast of Voice and Music happened, and also the year that William Kellogg began selling cornflakes. So it's saying something about how influential it was that he gave people the ability to have curly and wavy hair if they weren't naturally gifted with it, and just how much it changed people's lives. Before one's hair was wrapped in the brass rollers, it had to be treated with a solution. Early trials involved cow urine and water, yuck. Later on, the process evolved to sodium hydroxide, which is known as lye, and that's been used in chemical relaxers as well, for example, in black hair salons. It's not great for the hair at all. We're posting photos of Nessler's apparatus on our Substack at wearespiraling.com. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. And subscribe for behind-the-scenes details on this show and how I'm building my upcoming hair care line, Mayura, with stuff that's actually good for your hair. I promise there will not be any cow urine. Since Nessler's invention, there have been different variations on the perm. One of those was invented by Marjorie Stewart Joyner. She worked for Madam C.J. Walker, the first Black woman in America to become a self-made millionaire. While cooking a pot roast one evening, she was inspired by how multiple rods stick through the meat and then heat it up from the inside. So she started experimenting by attaching 16 pot roast rods to a hairdryer. There have been even more variations to the perm since then. There are hot and cold perms. As you can guess, one involves heat, the other doesn't. The most basic explanation for how perms work, though, is that they break the hair's existing chemical bonds, and they reshape the hair and lock in those new bonds. I read that in the 1930s, when perms first became available in Seoul, Korea, they cost as much as 2 bales of rice, and they weren't affordable for most women. In the 50s and 60s, apparently, women there would heat blocks of charcoal, wrap them in tinfoil, and then wrap their hair around them, and it was an attempt to recreate perms at home. Everyone wanted volume, texture, youthfulness. Later, even men became interested in perms. In Japan, the punch perm became popular. It's similar to the jerry curl. It became a thing from the 70s to the 90s and was popular among the Yakuza. When I was a kid, my mom would use these Barbie pink rollers, the Richard Caruso hair setter, and it feels like such a relic of the 90s. It promises instant curls from 30 seconds to 5 minutes, whatever that means. And it was marketed as an alternative to getting a salon perm. Richard Caruso first filed the patent for this in 1972. It's a set of foam rollers, Barbie pink plastic encasing this reddish foam inside. It comes with a matching pink bucket you fill with water like an iron or a steamer. And then you put each roller onto the steam dispenser on the bucket for a few seconds until it gets hot and fills with steam. And then you wrap that around a little section of your hair, and you do that over and over until your whole head is covered with mini pool noodles.
Where'd you get those? These are the curls, girls. Caruso curls. Salon-perfect curls that stay bouncy all day. With the Caruso Molecular Hair Setter, moisturizing steam gives you long-lasting curls and waves. Gently, quickly, easily, without damage from hot curlers and irons. So have your Caruso curls and keep them all day with the Caruso Molecular Hair Setter.
Perms were so in vogue before they basically disappeared, and now they've been totally eclipsed in popularity by relaxing and straightening treatments. It's hard to find true data on the perm market, which speaks for itself in a way, but one report I found says if you look at the whole market for perms and relaxers, perms make up just 22% of that, with relaxers making up the rest of it. So there you go. But data be damned, the boys are bringing the perm back. TikTok is full of videos, everyone from boys to men posting their transformations, asking stylists to make them look like K-pop stars.
My name is Sewa, and I've been a hairstylist for about 20 years.
Sewa Jin has been doing hair for 20 years, and she's been in the US for about a decade. She's talking to us from outside her salon, Namza. She opened it 5 years ago in Los Angeles and Koreatown.
Especially for being a Korean, getting a hair perm very normal for men and women. But here, so men's hair, Korean perm is very getting popular. So now, we specialize more men's style and men's hair. Especially someone has a straight hair, their hair stick out everywhere. And especially men, they can have long hair. So especially their side stick out to the side. So it's really hard to style it. So men in Korea, or I think now kind of East Asia, they get hair perm because having straight hair is really hard to styling and they need to spend so much time every morning, so they don't want to do it.
Why did you decide to open a salon specializing in perms for men?
Like I told you, I've been doing hair long time, and I
20 years,
used to do men and women's hair, and I noticed that someone, especially men with straight hair, they struggle styling their hair and hard to find style fits for them. So I thought I could help them with Korean perm, so men's perm.
What is it psychologically that you think they're looking for? Do they feel it's too plain to have straight hair or too boring or something?
I think now the beauty standard a little bit changed. So guys, they wanna expressing themselves more and they wanna try a new look. So that's why kind of before they were a little bit more conservative to change their hair. So short hair was popular, comb over or slick back, something clean or professional look. Most of them, they have straight hair. So they want to have some texture or solve the problem. Yeah.
What's the age range?
Age range 20 to 40, sometimes 50, 60. But not even just young men, I don't want to say kind of old, but someone more out there, kind of more older. But they also want to get hair perm. But for
you
them,
get a bunch of old guys who want to change it up.
but for old people, they want to get hair perm to easy maintain. The main.
Do you think they think it makes them look younger? Is that part of it?
Oh yeah, of course. Change the vibe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they look younger, definitely. But depends on style. They look for I want to have young vibe, and I want to have more volume on bouncy hair, so they can play with their hair more. They say, so I can save so much time in the morning, so they really like it, and they don't need to use a lot of product because they already have texture. And also, a lot of young guy, they said, hey, Sewa, I have a girlfriend, or I have a lot of date. Because they're standing
the curly
up.
hair got them dates?
Yeah, because they, not curly hair, so their hair, I think they found the hairstyle fits them, so they can stand out on the dating app, I guess. Yeah, so one guy, he said, so before, when he used dating app, it was hard to match people. But on the day, it was his second time visiting, and he said, I have a date today. And So we are located Koreatown in LA, but he's
Yeah.
also live here. But he said, oh, so my date, she is driving from all the way Orange County to the LA to see me.
Wow.
Yeah, so like, wow, yeah, congrats. And so I think just changing hairstyle and find the hairstyle fits them, kind of giving them more confidence because they look good.
Sewa has an interesting theory as to why perms are so much more popular among men now versus women. She thinks it's because women have long known their options to change up their hair, whereas men were ignorant until TikTok and YouTube told them they could get perms. She gets at least one perm client a day, and sometimes as many as 3. She's doing at least 8 to 10 perms a week. Perms start at $200 at Namza, and they need to be redone every 3 to 5 months. Men often bring in reference photos of K-pop stars or influencers on social media. They'll open up TikTok and show her. And sometimes they'll even pull up pictures of anime characters. At some point or another, everyone likes freshening up their vibe. But changing your hair that dramatically, deeper into adulthood especially, that got me thinking. When I was younger, the few times I did straighten my hair, it always made me feel like a totally different person. Like I could be a spy or something. It felt like a fundamental shift in identity. So, how do men feel about themselves after these perms?
I'm Alan Zhao, and I'm 33, and I live in San Francisco, and I got a perm in April of 2025.
What is your hair naturally like?
My hair is really dense. It's very thick, and it's extremely straight. So when I was growing up as a kid, it would just stick straight up. Classic.
Why did you decide to get a perm? Like, how did the idea come to you in the first place?
Yeah, I never really cared too much about appearances because I'm a guy. Never really had to think about it too much. But then I started dancing bachata, and it's like this Latin dance. It's really cool. I started this in 2023. I started noticing, as I started getting better at bachata, a lot of the artists who dance, they call them artists because they're just really good dancers, like professionals. They need to look good. And I had this dream that, okay, maybe one day I'll be an artist. And I noticed that to be an artist, not only have to dance well, you have to look really good too. And so I figured, I was in France at the time. I was in Paris. And Paris is known to be one of the fashion capitals in the world. And I was getting a haircut because I needed to get a haircut. And I just thought, just that day, like, you know what? I always wanted to try to get a perm. Change something up. Do something new. I've always had straight hair. And I always got the same haircut. The first salon that had an opening, that had a perm opening, I remember I had to go 2 because the first one I went to was they actually didn't do perms. So I went to the second one. And for the first time I thought like, oh, this is actually kind of exciting. And so I got the perm, and at first I was like very strange looking. They added a bunch of chemicals to my hair, and then they had to like heat it to dry it. And they said like, don't use water, don't wash it. But I immediately went back and took a shower, and it's fine.
I'm sure everyone's thinking the same thing as me. Has this man never seen Legally Blonde? The iconic scene where Elle Woods, Reese Witherspoon's character, is questioning her witness, played by Linda Cardinelli, who had repeated many times that she was washing her hair after getting a perm.
Chetney, why is it that Tracy Marcinko's curls were ruined when she got hosed down?
Because they got wet?
Exactly. Because isn't it the first cardinal rule of perm maintenance that you're forbidden to wet your hair for at least 24 hours after getting a perm at the risk of deactivating the ammonium thioglycolate?
Yes.
And wouldn't somebody who's had, say, 30 perms before in their life be well aware of this rule?
And then Elle is able to pull out a murder confession, all because she knows the alibi that the woman with a perm was washing her hair after getting home from a salon made no sense. Anyway, it turns out Alan never saw the movie. Don't wash your hair right after a perm, Alan, you'll ruin it. But his was somehow fine. How, if at all, has it affected like how you see yourself?
Yeah, I was like, wow, this looks really good. Yeah, I was like, okay, so after the first perm, I started to grow into it.
Alan grew into it, and other people got really into it too. He says he started noticing that the perm affects how other people see him. One of his friends had gotten back on the dating apps and told him how she was inundated with messages and likes from men. So she was just looking at profiles with a cursory glance, trying to figure out if anyone seemed worthy of further effort. And he jokingly asked if his profile would have made the cut.
And she's like, she literally said that. She's like, if you had straight hair, I would swipe left. But because of your perm, I would swipe right.
Wow. How did that make you feel?
I was like, objectified, just my hair.
Welcome to the experience of being a woman.
Yeah, so then I realized, okay, this stuff matters.
Have you noticed a difference in your dating experience post-perm?
I think so, yeah. It's definitely, yeah, if I were to be objective, probably a lot. It makes me stand out for sure. I think it gave me more confidence and just looking good. I never like attached confidence to looking good, but then I started to realize like, oh, looking good actually can build confidence. And then I started to pay attention to that stuff a little bit more. After I got the perm, I was like, okay, well, if the hair looks good, then the rest of the outfit should look good too. So maybe I started doing a little bit better there. That kind of changed how I saw myself. And in fact, I started this company, and one of my co-founders told me like, was explaining to his friend as we went to a social dance, Latin dancing. Yeah, Alan just took up Latin dance like 3 years ago, and then he is now like super good at this stuff. And he got a perm, and he changed his outfit, like everything changed. Like it just feels like me as a person, to him from his perspective, changed completely, like a 360 or 180. And so that's my objective outsider's perspective coming out of the where it's like this Alan has changed as a person. And
the perm was part of that.
And he called out the perm. Yeah, he's like, then he got his hair done, and then he got a new wardrobe, clothes. Yeah, his life has changed. Yeah.
Every woman goes through this throughout life, right? These cycles of like how you feel on the inside, how you look on the outside, how other people perceive you, all these questions around it. A lot of this is like foisted upon women from a very young age. And it makes me wonder, I'm wondering if you've ever thought like, well, I get more female attention when my hair is this way versus the other way.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting about this because I never used to get compliments about my, I guess, appearance. People don't just walk up and say, or out of the blue say certain things like, oh, I really like your hair. Yeah, it's something that stood out. If I got interest from somebody and we would go on a date or something, and I'd ask her, like, why did you say yes to this date? I was like, oh, because, well, one, I thought you were interesting because of your hair. It's like the first thing that stands out. You know, I couldn't explain, I can only say the evidence of, they would tell me this. You know, from their perspective, when I asked, like, why were you interested to begin with? I was like, oh, because I like your hair. And that's something that never happened in the past. So, one, it does change, I guess, my dating life a little bit in that respect, in the sense that, okay, people will notice me more because of the hair. Well, on the other, like, to your point, oh man, is that all I am, just the hair? Could nothing else have popped? But I guess that's just reality. And then later on, we get to know each other more, and then people can find out more about you. But the beginning thing that really pops is they would say, yeah, it's the hair, the hair. Sad as it is, yeah, it's maybe just the truth.
Do you know the various names for your hairstyle?
I have no idea.
Okay. I want to read some of them to you, and I'm wondering which one you identify with the most. Alpaca teen gym bro hair, broccoli perm, bird's nest, bussin' cut, the definitive zoomer hairstyle, TikTok fuckboy cut. Which one is you?
Couldn't you self-identify, but I've actually been called two of the however many options you were giving me.
Which two?
One was amongst my friends. When they first saw my hair on Instagram, because I posted it, a bunch of my high school friends commented in the group chat, like, Alan has successfully pulled off the Korean broccoli hair. I think I called that from a couple different other people too. And then on the dating side of things, I think people will probably call me the last, maybe we should keep that one out.
Have you ever been accused of being a TikTok fuckboy?
Yeah, I mean, because I think on TikTok, people, there are even memes about this, right? If you have straight hair, it's whatever, but the curly broccoli hair has like a fuckboy persona. For some reason, it's like that. I don't know why. And someone sent me a reel about this. And that's the only reason I know that people think this way on the internet, is because there's memes about this. Like, if you have curly hair, it's like TikTok fuckboy vibes.
Alan told me there's an anime show called Solo Leveling where the main character, Sung Jin-woo, is transformed from a weakling into a more powerful force. He's also given a glow up. And as part of that, his hair goes from a mop on his head to what looks a lot like a Korean perm. It's like his hair represents his power. If you too feel like your hair is your power, leave us a comment at wearespiraling.com with your thoughts on this episode. If you're enjoying the show, please show us some love on social media on any platform of your choice, or just text a show link to your friends. We Are Spiraling is produced by Citizens of Sound and hosted by my upcoming hair care line, Mayura. You can find details about it in the show notes and on wearespiraling.com. Theme music by Lapgun. Catch you next time.